While doing some research on satellite imagery, I found this information on the Lori and Chad Daybell case on the murder of Tylee and JJ Vallow.
There's a whole lot more traffic you can't see up in the sky. At any given time, about 5,000 satellites are circling the globe. Most are for communications or are peering out into deep space, but hundreds of them are turned right back down, looking at us.
We have satellite imagery that goes back to 2000.
Meet Katie Nelson, self-described geospatial ninja and co-owner of Apollo Mapping.
It's a lot of construction companies, engineering companies, a ton of conspiracy stuff.
I first met Katie when I was investigating the actions of Josh Powell's brother for the Cold podcast.
A bombshell development in the search for 2 missing Idaho children.
When police discovered the bodies of Tylee Ryan and JJ Vallow earlier this month, my colleague Kira Faramon from the Cold team wondered what might those satellites have captured in the months the 2 kids were missing. What we found were dozens of images taken between September and June by different satellites at different heights, times, and resolutions. We needed to whittle it down.
The affidavits give us a timeline of the police and the FBI investigation.
We knew Tylee had last been seen with her brother JJ and Uncle Alex Cox in Yellowstone National Park on September 8, 2019. Then came the release late last Friday of this police document showing how investigators traced Cox's movements using cell phone data. It showed him going from Yellowstone back to Rexburg, where he and Lori lived in neighboring apartments. At 2:42 a.m., Cox left his apartment and went to Lori's for nearly an hour. Then at 9:21 a.m., his cell phone pinged on the property of Chad Daybell, where it remained for roughly 2 hours, just to the east of the barn where police 2 weeks ago discovered the remains of Tylee Ryan.
A lot of heavy hearts.
With that timeline, we went back to those satellite images, and one stood out from all the others. A picture of eastern Idaho taken at 1:30 p.m. on September 9th, 22 hours after Alex Cox left the Daybell property. We bought a copy of the picture. Zooming in, you realize only so much detail is visible in a photograph taken from 430 miles above the Earth. What we can see are the Daybell house, the barn, the pond, and a cluster of dark pixels at the same spot where Cox's cell phone pinged, and Tylee's remains were found, likely showing ground that had recently been disturbed.
So now that we know companies are out there who provide satellite imagery, or can this be what makes or breaks cold cases? And how difficult is it to get that information? Private investigators seem to be using this more and more to help with their investigation, which eventually may turn into evidence. So I wonder if law enforcement is going to acquire their own way of getting this data more efficiently, more timely, and on their own dime.